he started spending all this money on the girl, taking her to Prada, Chanel, you name it. You know what I mean? Like, just blowing a bag. The girl was texting her friends like, got a trick, got one.
I just can't understand how people online glorifying Ashlee Janae because she found herself a baller, even though it's a possibility that this man took her life. You got people online claiming to be her friends, talking about Joe was a good man. People still fixated on the money that he was spending on her, wishing that was them. It's looking like Joe ain't never gonna do no time in jail, cause her parents got on the news and let it be known that they don't really think that he the killer. It's so many mixed signals. People online talking. We're about to talk about it, but before we do, make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Somebody inboxed me and gave me all the tea about how Ashlee and Joe McCant met. Listen, this is why you never be envious about somebody's relationship that you see on social media, because everything that glitters is definitely not gold. So in 2024, Ashlee was living in Miami, and you already know that she was a soft girl life influencer, but she also was a model, and she got a big modeling job in Singapore, her and a couple of her girlfriends. So while they was in Singapore doing a little modeling thing, they met Joe McCant. Joe was interested in Ashlee's girlfriend and started going out with Ashlee's girlfriend. I'm talking about started taking her on shopping sprees, took her to Prada, and also took her to Givenchy, took her to a bunch of different places, was spending boo-hoo money on the girlfriend. You know, Joe was just being a big old trick. The girlfriend and Joe, you know, they did grown people stuff. So the girlfriend had a big ass falling out with Joe. She went through his fucking phone and everything. I don't know why, if you just tricking on him, but she did. She went through his phone and she found out that he was fucking with a lot of women. So the girlfriend left Joe the fuck alone. She said, you got that shit. Y'all gotta remember, Joe was married. He was fresh out of his divorce. So he was out here just being a little fucking trick. The girl didn't give me the timeline of when he started fucking with Ashlee, so I don't know how long it took for him to start dating Ashlee. Joe ain't nothing but a big old trick and not to be taken seriously at all. My source said, I don't even know why Ashlee even paid him, like gave him the type of attention that she did, because Joe was just supposed to be somebody that you just trick on. You know what I mean? Her words, not mine. So Ashlee wasn't supposed to fall for Joe, but Joe is worth millions. I mean, who wouldn't want to be treated? You know, she said she was in her soft girl life, traveling all over the world with Joe. Joe giving her everything that she wanted. So I asked the girl flat out, do you think Joe is capable of murder? She said, yes, I do. I think he did it by the way he is moving, by the way he is not communicating with Ashlee Janae's family. I mean, I think he did it too, but it's still an ongoing investigation into this case. And this is all coming from somebody that knows them personally. Y'all know I may tell y'all a joke, but I will never tell y'all a lie.
I hear what she talking about, but what I want to know is, why did they give them separate rooms? How bad was they in there fighting? It had to be physical. Somebody had to put hands on somebody for them to separate them and put them in different rooms, because if they would have stayed in there together, somebody would have wound up dying, and eventually somebody did.
I see a lot of people asking why they decided to give them separate rooms in the Ashlee Janae case, and I'm not seeing a lot of people specifically who work in hotels explain why. And as somebody who's been working in hospitality, a front desk manager at a luxury hotel in New York City, I'm going to explain why. I will also preface this with saying that I've been working in hospitality for more than 10 years. I'm only 29 years old. From restaurants to hotels, I've worked at Nobu. I've helped accommodate resident hotel reservations for people like Paris Jackson, Ethan Hawke, Miguel. I've helped accommodate seamstress, last-minute seamstress appointments for Paris Jackson for the Tribeca Film Festival. I've dealt with crazy nights. I've dealt with the hotel getting robbed. I've experienced a lot. Now, each situation is always going to be assessed differently. But a standard at most hotels is to, if something does happen or something occurs, it is to separate the guests. If it's not a situation where someone is a harm to themselves or others, then, and they're not like physically violent, then they will just separate the people. Someone else asked me, well, how do they just have a room available all of a suddenly when this happened? Like, she found it strange that, you know, an altercation happened and you just so happen to have another villa open. And this is also why it's important for people who work in hospitality, who are professionals, to speak up, because average people don't know. On average, most hotels will always have an inventory and will always just keep at least 3 to 5 rooms that are unavailable. That includes resorts. And this idea isn't for altercation specifically. It's mostly for HVAC issues. HVAC issues meaning like the air in your room isn't working, the water in your room isn't working. Even simple things like people just wanting to change rooms. It happens all the time. I'm telling you, people come and just say like, I've seen the room, I don't want it. And when you're in a luxury establishment, you're in a high-end establishment, that happens a lot. There's a certain level of entitlement and also like an experience that people are expecting. They're more lenient and more willing to understand and say, let me figure out if we have another room available or something better. Another big thing that I said that people should be pushing and the family should be notified of guest key cards. With the technology today, most hotels, damn near all of them, are using digital key cards. When I looked at their website, it looks like they're using Stay in Touch. That's a POS system that some hotels use. They're probably using a system called Guest Key Access. Guest Key Access gives you live footage to the T right now. If they wanted to log in and see who's moving in and out of their room live, they can see that. They can see when did they move him to the villa. When did they make that reservation? When did that person make the key? When did he use that key to first enter his room? When did he exit his room? And did somebody enter her room minutes later? Going straight to that will give them a better timeline and a more accurate timeline. They can't hide that. But like I said in the other video, people should be going to these places if they are feeling uncomfortable, or even just to make sure that there is some type of safety procedures. As soon as you check in, you should be asking the front desk, hey, what are your safety procedures? If you're feeling uncomfortable, letting them know, can someone keep an eye on me during my stay? I know that some people were like, oh, it's strange that the front desk person went to her room and like she asked for a charger. Like, that's exactly what she should be doing. You should be utilizing the people. The last thing, I hear a lot of people saying that they feel like the hotel has something to do with it. Do I feel like it? No. With them specifically, especially Ashlee Janae, she's an asset to them. She can post one video of being at the resort like she did, and that's thousands of dollars and people that are going to go simply off her video of one. Again, it's not saying it doesn't happen, but most times when U.S. citizens travel, we're assets to these people in these other countries because of our money and because of the fact that with social media now. Not to say that anything can't happen to you, but again, she was an asset to them, and they're not going to risk. Now look what all this attention brings.
People want to act like it's unusual for women to date men for their money. People want to act like it's the greatest sin ever. Beware, look out. Don't date a man that got money. That ain't never gonna influence somebody to not date somebody with money. She was an influencer. I don't know how many followers she had, but she influenced a lot of people. Unfortunately for her, it went like this, but other people feel like it ain't gonna go like that for them. How many people tried crack recently, even though they heard the horror stories about the drug?
And was interested in the girlfriend, Ashlee's girlfriend. He started spending all this money on the girl, taking her to Prada, Chanel, you name it. You know what I mean? Like, just blowing a bag. The girl was texting her friends like, got a trick, got one. Now, this is where my mouth dropped, because she then says the girl was done with Joe after she went through her phone, after she went through his phone and seen that he was talking to numerous of women. Now, you got to remember, this is 2024, and this is all alleged. Allegedly, this happened in 2024. He was fresh out of a divorce and he was dating women. You know, he was being a little sugar daddy. Okay, but the girl was done with Joe, so she stopped talking to him. They got into a big old argument. She went through his phone and she was done. That's when he started talking to Ashlee. Yes. That's how Ashlee got with him. So her friends are like really surprised that like Ashlee is really making Joe her boyfriend and they're spending so much time together because they're like, you were supposed to use him for what he was worth and got on out of it. But can we blame Ashlee? No. She was having a good time with Joe. And she probably didn't see the red flags. You know, you young. This man is a millionaire worth millions and taking you all over the world. Of course. You having a good time. But Ashlee Janae did, and this is alleged, she did write something on her social media like, when your boyfriend starts cheating on you, I hope he gets the girl pregnant and I hope the girlfriend finds out, but whole time is not your baby. It was crazy. It was, listen, the girl sent me this too. I'm going to show it to y'all. So I do think she saw some red flags, but you know, us women, we think we can change people. He gonna change for us. Now, I don't know if Ashlee knew, like, how many times Joe McCann has been to Zanzibar, and he was cool with all the hotel staff, like buddies with the management.
I hear what the lady's talking about, and I got a clear understanding of what's going on now, but I need to hear what a brother got to say about all this.
She's going to try to find a way to be there for you by any means necessary. But let's get into it, right? So y'all made statements. There's statements being made that prior to the trip, they already had relationship problems, period. But then y'all proceeded to say that the parents recommended them to go on a trip to Africa to get away. They go on a trip to Africa. My friend posts, it's the best day of my friend's life. She posting, she showing everything in Africa. She get proposed to, everything, and then she decides to just off herself. It's bull. It's BS. Nobody's buying it. We not buying it at all. But then y'all also proceed to say not only did they prior to the trip they had relationship issues, during the trip they had relationship issues, and then y'all state that the hotel service decided to recommend them to get separate rooms. But prior to y'all recommending them to get separate rooms, y'all also stated that she was already showing signs of injury and harm to herself. It doesn't make sense. Then y'all proceeded to say that she decided to get a piece of her clothing and go in the closet and unalive herself. That whole process just is too much to do. And it doesn't make sense at all. And we're not buying it. Not only that, y'all state that the fiance is saying everything that's going on to happen. But not only that, y'all also say that y'all still have the fiance in custody. Y'all still have him in custody, but y'all got to do further investigation and further examination before you release him to find out the exact cause of death. But y'all updated Shade Room with the exact cause of death, and I don't know where y'all get injury and harm to herself.
It seemed like the people that knew this woman really loved this woman. She was a sweetheart, 31 years old, still sweet and tender. Everybody that speak about her from a personal level, they ain't got nothing but nice things to say about her. So why would this man try to take her life?
I've contemplated making this video because I didn't know like if it was my place or whatever, but it is my place. It's all of our places who had the pleasure of knowing Ashlee to speak on the good, because what is being depicted of her is absolutely heartbreaking. It has been heartbreaking. Reading these comments is heartbreaking. So I just want to speak light into her. I want to speak positivity in her, and I want to speak on my experience with her. I didn't know Ashlee outside of Clubhouse, but I had the pleasure of being in the same club as her on Clubhouse during peak COVID for hours on end, multiple hours a day for years. And during that time for myself, I was going through a spiritual transition. I moved away from my home and I was like by myself. COVID hit, the world was shut down. I was trying to find who I was trying to heal. And I had the pleasure of being in her presence because Ashlee was so kind. She was so humble. She was so funny. She was so witty. She was so talented. She was infectious. She was inspirational by just being her. She was so sure of who she was. She was so proud of who she was, where she came from, her experiences. She stood on everything. Even if it wasn't what everybody was agreeing on, she'd be that person to be like, well, if she felt like if it was, I'm sorry, I'm just having these flashbacks of who she was. And, you know, during that time, like I said, so many of us were going through it on the other end. And she brought so much energy, so much love, so much humor into each room. And it didn't matter what the room was talking about. It could be something so serious. It could be such an intense conversation. Ashlee comes in, boom, all eyes on Ashlee. There's times she would just stay in the goo because she's just like, I don't feel like talking today. Y'all do your thing. Because she knew who she was exactly who she thought she was. And nobody played about Ashlee. Nobody. When men, we saw it countlessly come in there, try to disrespect her or this or that. One, Ashlee didn't have to say a single thing because everybody would handle it for her. But the times that she would be like, no, it's cool, I got it. She never had to put anybody down. She never did. Her wittiness, her cleverness, she would shut you down. And usually you had no choice but to either laugh and respect her or, I mean, that's how it went. I didn't have the pleasure of being her friend outside of Clubhouse. And this is such a loss. So I can't even imagine for those who were, because she was so impactful. She was the world is not a better place without her. And I just think a part of me wants to be thankful that the exposure is there, regardless if it's negative, because it's brought attention to what happened to her. It's put pressure on authorities. But the majority part of me is just so sickened by the cruelty of people who didn't know her. This wasn't some celebrity and you had fans who were fans, not fans, debating about all this. She was a real person to a lot of us. A lot of us. And it is just, it's been so heavy. And I find myself just thinking about all the good that I experienced, that I had the pleasure of experience from her. And so I just wanted to share that she deserves to also be uplifted by the positive impact she had. All of us who did know her, all the people from the ghetto, the OG, we can all sit here and go back and forth with people defending her, but I would rather speak on the light in her, because she had the light in her. And so justice for Ashlee, and just be mindful that she was a real person to a lot of us, and the way she's being portrayed is just not her.
Lord have mercy. All I could say is I want justice for Ashlee. Whatever happened, we need to know for sure. If she did what they said she did and took herself out, they need to prove it to the public. If he has something to do with it, he need to go to jail. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up, poke out your rump. It's S.A.T that you want, and my music hit so hard, make you say, oh my